Hello friends, so in this video we will discuss about states of matter chapter. So that too gaseous states. So let us start. Level 11 elements that exist as gas in room temperature. So they are hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, then helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. All together 11 elements. So here we have a gas laws. Boyle's law, pressure is direct inversely proportional to volume at constant temperature for n, and n is fixed, that is the number of moles of gas is fixed. It means that P1 divided by P1 divided by P2 is equal to V2 divided by V1 divided by V2, right? Or P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, or P1 V1 is equal to constant. So here we have a graph, pressure versus volume. We're going to get a inversely proportional graph. So then we have this one, pressure versus 1 divided by V. Here we're going to get a directly proportional graphs. So then we have this one, isotherms, temperature constant fluids are known as isotherms. Those graphs where we are going to get something at constant temperature, so they are known as isotherms. So then we have this Charles law, volume is proportional to temperature. So here the temperature is absolute temperature, so that means it should be measured in Kelvin. General equation, V1 divided by T1 is equal to V2 divided by T2. So if we plot a graph volume versus temperature, here we're going to get a straight line proportional graphs. So these are called as isobars because each bar, so the pressure is constant and volume versus temperature graphs are plotted. So then we have this one, Gay-Lussac's law, pressure is proportional to temperature. So then we have this Avogadro's law, volume amount relationship, equal volume of all gases under the same condition of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. So this is known as Avogadro's law. V is proportional to N. N is the number of moles of gas. At STP, molar volume of an ideal gas is 22.7 liter per mole. Number of moles of gas, N is equal to M divided by capital M, means mass of gas divided by molar mass. So then we have this ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. So how we derive this one? So from Boyle's law, P is inversely proportional to 1 divided by P. So then Charles law, V is proportional to T. So then Avogadro's law, V is proportional to N. So we'll club all these together. Gas constant R is equal to, so V is proportional to NT divided by P. In other words, PV is proportional to N into T. So if we replace that proportionality with some constant R, so then here we are going to PV is equal to nRT. So gas constant values or its value can be calculated using the standard conditions, like pressure is 10 raised to 5 Pascal and the volume of gas at STP is 22.7 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube, and number of moles is 1 mole and temperature is 273.15 Kelvin. If we put all these values in this particular equation, here we are going to get 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole. So then we have the concept of STP or SATP, standard temperature and pressure, or standard ambient temperature and pressure. So here in this case temperature is 298.18 Kelvin. Right. So pressure is 1 bar, exactly 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Then 22.789 STP, So 273.15 Kelvin, 10 raised to 5 Pascal, and volume is 22.41. So then we have this Dalton's law of partial pressure. Total pressure exerted by mixture of gas is a sum of partial pressure of individual gases. It means that P total is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3, like this at constant temperature and volume. Real gas behavior deviation from the ideal gas. So we're going to consider this one. So PV versus P. So this ideal gas will behave like this in a straight line, but real gases like carbon monoxide, CH4, CH2, they behave something different. So then we have this one, pressure versus volume. So this real gas and ideal gas are inversely proportional. So for that reason here we're going to get inversely proportional graphs. So then we have this van der Waals equation. So P plus A n square divided by V square bracket V minus NB is equal to N RT. So here in this case TC, critical temperature, TC, temperature at which gas exists as liquid, above it exists as a gas, is known as critical temperature. So some temperature is there above that particular temperature, so that gas exists as a gas, and below that temperature it exists as a liquid. So that particular temperature is known as critical temperature. So then we have this viscosity, F is equal to eta A du divided by dz. So this du divided by dz is known as velocity gradient, that is change in velocity with distance. So then we have this A is the area of contact, eta is the coefficient of viscosity. In CGS units, the unit of eta is poise. In SI units, the unit of this eta is Newton second per meter square. 1 poise is equal to 1 gram per second per centimeter, or 10 raised to minus 1 kg per meter per second. So this is all about this chapter. So the next chapter is thermodynamics. So let us start this chapter. So we have a concept of system. In system we have two types, one is open system and second one is closed system. So adiabatic change, Q is equal to 0, no heat exchange between system and surrounding, so that particular condition is known as adiabatic change. So then we have this first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus W. The energy of an isolated system is constant. So this is the definition of first law of thermodynamics. Delta U is nothing but change in internal energy. W, work, is equal to integration V1 to V2 P external into dV. So here we have a graph, pressure versus volume graph. So you can consider this one, area P external into dV. So this particular area below that particular curve is known as work done. So then we have this reversible process, W external is equal to minus integration V1 to V2 P internal into dV. In other words, so this work reversible is equal to minus 2.303 nRT log V2 divided by V1, right? So this is known as work done in reversible process. So then we have the next equation, isothermal reversible process. In this case Q is equal to minus W. So for that reason nRT ln Vf divided by Vi. In other words, plus 2.303 nRT log V2 divided by V1. So then we have isothermal irreversible process, Q is equal to minus W P external into Vf minus Vi, or V2 minus Vi. So then we have this adiabatic change, Q is equal to 0. In other words, delta U is equal to W adiabatic. So then we have this concept of enthalpy H. Delta H is equal to delta U plus delta P into V. In other words, delta H is equal to delta U plus delta Ng into R into T. So this delta H is equal to QP, means at constant pressure. So then we have this one, delta H is a negative and exothermic, delta H is positive, means it is an endothermic process. So then we have this extrinsic and intensive property. So we can remember this with the help of this trick IDEA. Intrinsic property do not depend, extrinsic property it depends on amount. So then we have this heat capacity Q is equal to M C delta T. So Cp minus Cv is equal to R. So then we have a concept of a spontaneous process. A spontaneous process is an irreversible process and may only be reversed by some external force. So this is known as a spontaneous process. So then we have a second law of thermodynamics. Delta S is equal to Q reversible divided by T. So then we have this entropy, the measure of disorderness or randomness of a system is known as entropy. So then we have Gibbs energy, delta G is equal to delta H minus Ts, or delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Then we have a criteria for spontaneity in terms of delta G. So if this delta G is less than 0, then that process is spontaneous. If this delta G is greater than 0, then it is non-spontaneous. If this delta G is equal to 0, then it is at equilibrium. So delta G is equal to minus RT ln K. So the next chapter is there. So this chapter is equilibrium. So this one we are going to study it in our next class. So thank you very much for listening.